Recruitment and relocation in Operation Paperclip 1. Identification and recruitment process. The process of identifying and recruiting German scientists for Operation Paperclip was meticulous and secretive. American scientific and military representatives, including experts who had been part of the war effort, were involved in the scouting and interviewing of potential recruits. Scientists were identified through various means, including the analysis of documents seized from German research facilities, recommendations from other captured German scientists, and intelligence gathered during and after the war. Once identified, these scientists were approached and negotiations began. Many were eager to continue their research and saw collaboration with the U.S. as a way to avoid prosecution for war crimes, continue their scientific work, and provide a stable future for their families. 2. Secret relocation to the United States. The relocation of these scientists to the United States was carried out with great secrecy. In many instances, their arrival and presence in the U.S. were kept hidden from the public and even from certain government branches. They were often brought to the U.S. under false identities or through expedited immigration processes that bypassed standard protocols. The U.S. government facilitated their settlement, providing housing and employment within military and scientific establishments. 3. Notable scientists and areas of expertise. Wernher von Braun is the most famous scientist through Operation Paperclip. He played a crucial role in the development of the V-2 rocket during World War II and later became a key figure in the U.S. space program, including the development of the Saturn V rocket used in the Apollo missions. Other notable scientists included Kurt H. Debus, an aerospace engineer who later became the first director of NASA's Kennedy Space Center, and Arthur Rudolph, who was instrumental in developing the Saturn V rocket. The U.S. was particularly interested in expertise in rocketry, as this was seen as vital for both military applications and the emerging space race. However, the scope wasn't limited to rocket science. The program also sought expertise in chemical and biological warfare, medicine, including medical research conducted during the war, some of which involved human experimentation, physics, and other areas of advanced scientific research. The recruitment and relocation of German scientists under Operation Paperclip were a significant undertaking, reflecting the urgency and importance placed on gaining a technological edge during the early Cold War years. These efforts brought in a wealth of knowledge and expertise, but they also raised profound ethical questions about accountability and the limits of scientific collaboration in the context of war crimes and human rights abuses. Pre-war context and scientific developments in Nazi Germany. 1. Advancements in rocket technology and key figures. Nazi Germany, particularly in the 1930s and 1940s, became a hotbed for scientific and technological advancements, notably in the field of rocketry. Wernher von Braun, a central figure in this development, emerged as one of the leading rocket engineers. He played a pivotal role in the development of the V-2 rocket, the world's first long-range guided ballistic missile. The V-2 rocket was a significant technological leap, laying the groundwork for modern rocketry. Its development was driven by the ambition to achieve military superiority, but it also opened avenues for space exploration. 2. Ethical and moral considerations. The pursuit of scientific advancements in Nazi Germany was deeply intertwined with the regime's ideologies and war efforts. The ethical implications were often either overlooked or willfully ignored by scientists. The development of technologies like the V-2 rocket was carried out under problematic conditions, including the use of forced labor from concentration camps. The Mittelbau-Dora concentration camp, for instance, was specifically established for the production of V-2 rockets, where thousands of forced laborers died due to inhumane working conditions. These scientists, including von Braun, were members of the Nazi Party, and some were involved in the SS. Their complicity or direct involvement in the regime's war crimes and human rights abuses is a matter of historical record and moral scrutiny. The moral complexity lies in the fact that these scientific advancements, while contributing significantly to modern technology and space exploration, were achieved at an immense human cost and in the service of a brutal regime. The pre-war and wartime scientific achievements in Nazi Germany thus present a challenging historical narrative. They were marked by groundbreaking technological progress, but were also deeply marred by the horrors and ethical transgressions of the Nazi regime. The involvement of these scientists in Operation Paperclip after the war raises further ethical questions about the balance between scientific progress and moral responsibility. End of World War II and Allied Response 1. Discovery of advanced German technologies. As World War II drew to a close, the Allied forces advancing into Germany began uncovering the extent of the Nazi regime's scientific and technological advancements. This included superior rocket technology, jet aircraft, advanced submarines, and groundbreaking medical research. The discovery of the V-2 rocket facilities, in particular, was a significant moment. The Allies encountered the sophisticated technology and the remnants of production facilities, which were often found alongside evidence of the horrific use of forced labor. Number 2. Allied dilemmas on handling German scientists. The Allies faced a complex moral and strategic dilemma with the German scientists responsible for these advancements. There was an immediate need to address their complicity in the Nazi regime, especially those implicated in war crimes. The denazification process was a part of the Allies' post-war policy to remove Nazi ideology and influence from Germany. It included punishing those responsible for war crimes. However, the scientists posed a unique challenge. Many of them, like Wernher von Braun, were not only members of the Nazi Party, but also held ranks in the SS. Simultaneously, there was a pressing realization that the knowledge and expertise of these scientists could be invaluable in the burgeoning Cold War context. The US and Soviet Union, emerging as superpowers, were keenly aware of the strategic advantages these scientists could provide, particularly in the fields of rocketry and aerospace technology. The US was especially interested in harnessing this expertise for its own military and space programs. This led to a strategic decision where the benefits of utilizing the German scientists' knowledge were weighed against the moral implications of their past affiliations and actions. The end of World War II thus marked not just a military victory, but also the beginning of a complex phase of technological acquisition and ethical decision-making. The Allied response to the German scientists encapsulated the tensions between justice, moral responsibility, and strategic interests in the early stages of the Cold War era. Initiation of Operation Paperclip 1. Formulation of Operation Paperclip by the JOA, the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency. JOA, a part of the Office of Strategic Services, OSS, was instrumental in initiating Operation Paperclip. The OSS was the precursor to the CIA and was responsible for intelligence and special operations during World War II. Recognizing the strategic value of the German scientists' expertise in rocketry, aerospace technology, and other scientific fields, the JOA formulated Operation Paperclip with the primary objective of transferring this knowledge to the US. This was seen as essential for the United States to gain an advantage in the emerging Cold War and in future technological developments. The operation initially focused on recruiting scientists who had not been actively involved in the Nazi regime's more heinous activities. However, the scope broadened as the strategic importance of these individuals' knowledge became increasingly apparent. 2. Secret nature and bypassing of presidential orders. Operation Paperclip was conducted under a veil of secrecy. Its true nature and the backgrounds of the individuals involved were often obscured or altered to mitigate potential backlash and ethical concerns. President Harry Truman's 1946 directive explicitly excluded anyone found to have been a member of the Nazi Party and more than a nominal participant in its activities or an active supporter of Nazi militarism. However, this directive was often circumvented in the case of Operation Paperclip. The GIOA, in collaboration with other military and intelligence agencies, engaged in a deliberate effort to sanitize the backgrounds of the scientists. This involved altering or removing incriminating evidence of their involvement with the Nazi Party or SS. The aim was to present these individuals as indispensable assets, devoid of significant Nazi affiliations or war crimes. In many cases, the dossiers of these scientists were rewritten to eliminate or downplay their Nazi involvement, thereby making them eligible for recruitment under the stipulations set by President Truman. Operation Paperclip thus represents a complex chapter in post-War II history, where strategic interests and the pursuit of technological superiority led to morally questionable decisions. The secret recruitment and sanitization of the backgrounds of German scientists reflect the intricate interplay of ethics, geopolitics, and the exigencies of the early Cold War period. Contributions and impact of Operation Paperclip. Scientists 1. Advancements in U.S. technology and defense. The scientists recruited through Operation Paperclip had a profound impact on various aspects of U.S. technology and defense, especially during the Cold War era. Their expertise contributed significantly to the United States military and space capabilities, helping to establish the U.S. as a leader in these fields. Their knowledge was particularly crucial in advancing rocket technology. The U.S. leveraged this expertise to develop ballistic missiles, which were a central component of the strategic deterrence strategy during the Cold War. 2. Role in the space race and development of NASA. The space race against the Soviet Union provided a dramatic backdrop for the contributions of these scientists. Wernher von Braun's role was particularly notable. He became a key figure at NASA and was instrumental in the development of the Saturn V rocket, which powered the Apollo moon missions. Von Braun's team was critical in launching Explorer 1, America's first satellite, in 1958. This achievement marked a turning point in the space race, demonstrating the U.S. capability to compete with the Soviet Union in space. The success of the Apollo program, culminating in the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969, was a crowning achievement. This momentous event, which was a direct result of the work of von Braun and his team, not only marked a significant technological milestone, but also served as a powerful symbol of U.S. prowess and ingenuity during the Cold War. Number 3. Impact in other fields. Beyond space exploration, the German scientists contributed to advancements in aeronautics, including jet propulsion and aerodynamics. Their knowledge helped in the development of faster, more efficient jet aircraft, which had both military and commercial applications. In medical research, some scientists who were part of Operation Paperclip had been involved in medical experiments during the war. While this aspect is deeply troubling, some of their findings, obtained unethically, were integrated into medical knowledge, particularly in areas like hypothermia and high-altitude physiology. The fields of physics, chemistry, and materials science also benefited from the influx of knowledge and expertise. These scientists brought with them a wealth of information that spurred innovations and research in several scientific domains in the U.S. The contributions of the Operation Paperclip scientists were significant, shaping many aspects of U.S. technology and defense capabilities during the Cold War. Their roles in advancing the U.S. space program and in other scientific fields are undeniable. However, their involvement also represents a complex moral issue, balancing their scientific achievements against their past associations with the Nazi regime and the ethical implications of their recruitment. Controversies and ethical implications of Operation Paperclip 1. Employment of former Nazi members and overlooking of war crimes. The most significant controversy surrounding Operation Paperclip centers on the U.S. government's decision to employ scientists who were former members of the Nazi Party, and in some cases, implicated in war crimes. Many of these individuals had been part of or complicit in the Nazi regime's most egregious activities, including the use of slave labor, human experimentation, and other war crimes. By recruiting them, the U.S. effectively overlooked these atrocities in favor of gaining technological insights and expertise. The sanitization of these scientists' backgrounds, altering or omitting their Nazi affiliations and activities to facilitate their entry into the U.S., raises serious ethical questions. It reflects a willingness to prioritize strategic interests over justice and moral responsibility. 2. Debate over scientific advancement versus moral accountability. Operation Paperclip epitomizes the tension between the pursuit of scientific advancement and the necessity of moral accountability. This has been a subject of ongoing debate among historians, ethicists, and the public. On one hand, the operation led to significant advancements in space exploration, defense technology, and other scientific fields. The contributions of these scientists, particularly in the space race and the development of the U.S. space program, had far-reaching impacts. On the other hand, the operation raises questions about the ethical costs of scientific progress. The U.S. government's decision to employ and protect individuals associated with the Nazi regime, effectively granting them immunity for their wartime actions, is seen by many as a profound moral compromise. This dilemma reflects a broader question that continues to be relevant. How should societies balance the benefits of scientific knowledge and advancement with the need to hold individuals accountable for their actions, especially in cases involving human rights violations? The controversies and ethical implications of Operation Paperclip continue to be a topic of reflection and discussion. The operation serves as a powerful example of the complex interplay between ethics, morality, and the pursuit of scientific and technological progress, especially in the context of national security and global political dynamics. Legacy and historical reflection on Operation Paperclip 1. Long-term impact on science, space exploration, and military technology. Operation Paperclip has left a significant legacy in various fields, particularly in space exploration and military technology. The scientific contributions of the recruited German scientists played a crucial role in establishing the United States as a leader in these areas during the Cold War and beyond. In space exploration, the most notable impact was on NASA's space program. The expertise brought by Wernher von Braun and his team was instrumental in the success of the Apollo missions, including the historic moon landing. This achievement not only marked a technological milestone, but also had a profound cultural and political impact during the space race. In military technology, the advancements in rocketry and missile development had significant implications for national defense and the strategic balance of power during the Cold War. The technology developed by these scientists contributed to the development of intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, and other military hardware. 2. Historical context and implications for ethical decision-making. Historically, Operation Paperclip is often viewed through the lens of the Cold War, where strategic imperatives often overshadowed ethical considerations. It reflects a period when the urgency of competing with the Soviet Union led to decisions that prioritized scientific and technological gains over moral accountability. The operation has prompted ongoing debate about the ethics of employing individuals with problematic pasts for the sake of national interests. It raises questions about the extent to which governments should go in recruiting individuals with specialized knowledge, especially when those individuals have been involved in criminal or unethical activities. In the context of science and politics, Operation Paperclip serves as a cautionary tale about the potential ethical pitfalls in the pursuit of technological superiority. It highlights the need for ethical frameworks and accountability in scientific research and political decision-making, especially in situations where there is a risk of compromising fundamental moral principles. The legacy of Operation Paperclip also includes its contribution to discussions on how societies reconcile technological advancements with historical accountability. It serves as a reminder of the importance of historical reflection in understanding the complexities and consequences of decisions made in times of geopolitical tension. Operation Paperclip's legacy is multifaceted, encompassing significant contributions to science and technology, while also embodying complex ethical and moral challenges. Its place in history continues to be a subject of analysis and reflection, offering insights into the intricate relationship between scientific achievement, ethical responsibility, and political decision-making. Modern perspective on Operation Paperclip 1. Current views on Operation Paperclip. In the modern era, Operation Paperclip is often viewed with a mix of acknowledgement for its scientific contributions and critical examination of its ethical implications. The operation is a significant part of Cold War history, but it's also a case study in the moral complexities of scientific and political decision-making. The operation is increasingly discussed in the context of the ethical dilemmas it represents, particularly in academic, scientific, and political discourse. This includes a re-evaluation of the decisions made and the long-term implications of prioritizing technological advancement over moral and legal accountability. Ethics of scientific research and collaboration in wartime. Modern perspectives on Operation Paperclip contribute to broader debates about the ethics of scientific research and collaboration, especially during wartime or under repressive regimes. The operation raises questions about the responsibilities of scientists and governments in such contexts and the moral implications of their actions. The legacy of Operation Paperclip serves as a reminder of the potential consequences of divorcing scientific pursuits from ethical considerations. It underscores the importance of maintaining ethical standards in scientific research, even under the pressures of national security and geopolitical rivalry. 3. Treatment of knowledge acquired through unethical means. Operation Paperclip also contributes to the debate on how to handle knowledge and technological advancements acquired through unethical means. This includes considerations of how to balance the use of such knowledge with the need to acknowledge and address the circumstances of its acquisition. In contemporary discussions, there's an emphasis on the importance of transparency, ethical oversight, and the recognition of historical injustices in scientific advancements. This is particularly relevant in fields like medicine and biotechnology, where ethical boundaries are continuously being navigated. 4. Relevance to contemporary issues. The operation remains relevant in discussions about current scientific collaborations and international relations, especially in cases where ethical and moral considerations might conflict with strategic or research objectives. It serves as a historical reference point for understanding how ethical considerations can be overshadowed by urgent political and strategic needs and the potential repercussions of such decisions. In summary, the modern perspective on Operation Paperclip is characterized by a nuanced understanding of its historical significance and a critical analysis of its ethical implications. This perspective informs current debates on the ethics of scientific research and collaboration, especially in relation to wartime activities or regimes that violate human rights. Operation Paperclip continues to be a relevant and cautionary tale about the complexities of balancing scientific progress with ethical responsibility.